All right, y'all, today I'm going to take you through my morning stretch routine and show you some of the things that I do at 57 to maintain my mobility. The first thing I usually do is just hang from the bar for a little bit, let my arms and shoulders stretch out, and my spine and hips will sometimes get some good releases. Then I come in here to my space where I can get comfortable on the floor and stretch out and roll around a little bit. Now, outside of my ninja training, all of the stuff that I do is very gentle. Stretching, getting my body loose after a night's sleep, breathing, incorporating the diaphragm, a lot of yoga style stuff. I cannot emphasize the diaphragm enough. In everything that I do, I'm constantly trying to become more aware of how I'm using it, making sure that I'm using it properly for breathing and for bracing. And if you need help with that, I'll include a video link here and in the description. So I'm big on incorporating movement into my stretching. I don't want to just stretch in one plane of motion because that's not the way we move. I like to start small and just increase as I feel it and trying to listen to what my body is telling me. And using that movement, I can transition from stretching into strengthening, increasing the difficulty at my own pace. I like to take a nice, easy movement like this to loosen up with, and I can feel things letting go in my lower back and pelvis. Then I can ease into some more challenging movements by increasing the leverage. And what I've learned about injuries over 40 is that I never just want to go right into something like a leg lift or something strenuous without warming up into it. Now, I love this squat, and I don't ever want to not be able to do this squat, so I do it every day. And it's a great place to just kind of hang out and relax. You can get comfortable. You wedge your arms in here and lock them in place a little bit if you want to get a bigger stretch, or just kind of hang out and zen out a little bit and have a meditative moment if you like. Don't forget your breath. Keep your breath right. One of the things I've added into my movements and stretching is reaching, and not just extending my arm out, but with this whole mechanism, reaching and holding that out there, moving around with that and breathing into that. My tendency is to want to kind of suck my gut up and try to get a higher reach, but where I find the benefit is in engaging the diaphragm down and reaching and pulling against that. I find that it helps my shoulders operate more independently from my trunk, freeing up all kinds of tightness in my upper back. Here's one of my favorite positions. This allows me to turn off everything else and focus on the diaphragm. Sometimes I'll just hang out here for a few minutes and practice my breathing and bracing. It's another great place to have a little meditative moment. And by adding some weight or movement, I can often get some good releases in my back and shoulders. I always like to include some light strengthening. I don't do any heavy weightlifting. The heaviest thing I do is a bar like this, which is hardly 40 or 45 pounds, and just doing some slow, intentional presses and squats. More recently, I've started including some Tai Chi kind of movements with very light dumbbells. But I find that these slow, lightweight movements are much more challenging in the sense that you're not just relying on momentum, but you're having to be very intentional about the muscles you're using to get the job done. And that's pretty much it. It doesn't take much more than about 10 minutes, and I can't think of a better investment towards your long-term mobility than that. So good luck, people. Keep moving.